Welcome to African Couch Potato. I am Gino. In the last episode with Sipiwe Hlabangani, I said that I was going to give you guys a watch list in this episode. So above the watch list, I've gone one step better and I found a filmmaker. His name is Banele Mtebele, and he will be giving us a list of movies that have had an impact on his life. Banele, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very good. You're a writer and director.
Correct.
Schooled writer or self-trained?
I'm schooled.
Where did you go to school?
So I went to Tsotsi University of Technology, where I did motion picture and television production, and I majored in scriptwriting, directing, and editing.
Why film? Because you're from Eastern Cape, isn't it?
Sure.
So you left Makosa land, came up to the city of gold.
I would say the culture or the drive that I had for film was from a bioscope. It was the only escape that you could have in the Eastern Cape. There was a guy who used to do a bioscope with a white cloth. Mm-hmm. And for us, that thing was like foreign. And I remember he actually made us watch The Lion King for 6 years. He didn't have any other films except that one. And whenever we watched that, it's like new, it's like new. And for me not to see that again, I just wanted to start it. So in high school, I started to do a bioscope, and the rest is just history.
Yeah. And moving on to more recent things, you worked on Collision.
Sure, Netflix.
In which capacity was that in?
So I was a junior editor. So I started as an assistant editor. Then I became a junior editor. I was working with a director from France, Fabien Martinez. And I was assisting Ravi Desai, who was an assistant editor on Jerusalem. And it was just an honor to work with him. And he's the one who actually pushed me to actually grow in the game, because he said, that's the last time I'm assisting anyone. I need to start editing. And from there on, which was 2021, and till now I've been editing some beautiful shows.
You're an editor, you're a writer, you're a director. You're basically running your own production house,
100%.
which is the Village Post Office.
Yes, sir.
How do you cope with that?
I'm treating it as I'm playing a game. It's just a game. It's not like a company where you have to have so much admin. I'm just finding myself, I'm playing, and while I'm playing, I'm getting paid. So I think it's also, I would say, a fortunate thing that I don't have a big staff. I do outsource a lot, and outsource mostly my mentors instead of my friends. Because if I outsource my friends while I'm trying to do something, I will have to oversee everything. But then when you go to your mentors, it's sort of like easy. You just focus on what you have to focus on. But the most difficult thing as an editor is to be an editor at this age and working with people, I'm quoting, they have experience more than you. Sometimes you have to stroke their egos. You have to, you sort of like have to forget your hat as an editor. That's the most difficult part. So as a passionate teacher, when I teach the students, I always say the difficult part about editing is pretend as if filmmaking is a family. Yeah. The scriptwriter will be the firstborn. They'll always remind you, I came up with this, I'm the first one.
It's my idea.
It's mine. The director will be the secondborn, trying to actually outsmart and prove what the firstborn has done, that I can actually do it better.
I'm the talent,
Yeah, and the DOP, the cinematographer, would be the lastborn. Don't touch my toys, but you need them, and don't come near that. There comes an editor, that's a parent, who will always remind them, guys, it's about the story, it's about the family. It is not about you. So it's the most difficult part when you have these people who have been in the industry for like 30 years and I come and become a parent to them. It is difficult. The DOP who was doing this thing for 25 years, I'm just an editor. And I just want to remind you, it's about the story. Forget your toys. So it's a bit difficult. But nonetheless, everything is straightforward and I'm just enjoying the ride.
Yeah. Do people get a bit touchy when you tell them what to do, or when you try to remind them what their role is?
I think I'm fortunate enough to actually tell them in a very beautiful way. It's all about you.
Do they realize that you've told them, or do they have to go home and be like, wait a minute, actually, don't jelly scrap?
At first, it used to hurt me because I would actually tell a director something, I would actually fix something, and then when they win an award, They don't even mention me. So it used to hurt me. But now, if you don't see my edit, which means I'm great, if you forget about what I told you, which is I'm great, how many times would you go around and say, my mom used to say this? You won't. You'll pretend as if you came up with it.
Yes.
And your mom is proud there. And she knows this is me. So now, I think with maturity, now I'm not moving.
Yeah. But now, at what point must they say, actually, Banele gave me this idea? Is it like in the middle of an acceptance speech to say, oh, thank you so much, South Africa, for the SAFTA. By the way, Banele said I must change these shots.
The greatest, it doesn't even have to be like that necessarily, but then the greatest filmmakers I know in the world, they will always give credit to their editors. That's why even the relationship would be longer. Martin Scorsese has worked with Thelma for like decades, and when I would never be here without this person.
Yeah.
And that's the importance of an editor. Sadly, but fortunately, we don't know the role of an editor yet in South Africa. That's why it's one of those other guys, you know, in a list when they say Michael Jackson and others.
Yes.
So editors are still others here, which is still good. And I just love the motivation when they say, if you see my edit, it's bad. If you don't see it, it's good. So we're still enjoying being in the dark yet until we get there. So I wouldn't say you have to always say, Banele did this. You just have to say, I wouldn't have done this without Banele. Because literally an editor will rewrite everything. And the beauty about the editor is you're the last director of the film and the first audience. See the importance of that?
Yes.
I don't need to say, Banele said. It's just, Banele made this.
Because also you're the gap in between. Have you found your Martin?
No, unfortunately, I'm still editing my stuff, which I hate it. And I feel like the collaboration is very, very, very important. But I haven't found somebody who is hungry as I am or as passionate as I am. I'm still finding movie makers than filmmakers. The difference between a movie maker and a filmmaker, when you're about to make a movie, you ask a question, how much do I want to make? When you're a filmmaker, you ask a question, what is that I want to say? So I've been meeting people who are going to be like, how much am I going to make? Rather than what is that I want to say. So to answer your question, not yet. I'm still finding myself while searching for that person who's going to be like, actually, I want to say this as well.
Yes.
Rather than find somebody like, okay, wait a minute, how much are we going to make? And that's a movie for me. A filmmaking is different. So I haven't found my Thelma, I haven't found it.
Yeah. And as the editor, what is the importance of telling the story not only because somebody wrote it, but because you got footage back and you realize that certain things have changed?
It's the, and if we don't even need to go to school with it. It's the psychological part of it. I've learned the frames, and I think the best way to study filmmaking is to watch films in mute, and that's when you'll see there's so much writing there with those pictures. So I've actually studied that a lot with the likes of Alfred Hitchcock, where they would actually write so much. How do I tell a story? Everything revolves around the person that you're actually telling a story for. Like if I would have to tell a story for you compared to Mr. Bean, because you are black and you come from LX, I'll have to use close-ups. That, watching it in mute, you're actually saying to the audience, be with this person. So you're building a curiosity on them as to why I'm always in this person's space. Whereas when I'm doing for Mr. Bean, it's just a long shot.
Yeah.
You're actually giving them a room to be with that person. I've studied those things. And it drama, I'm not sure if you remember Yizo.
Yes.
It had lots and lots and lots of close-ups, and they were not perfect. And that's what I've learned about choosing those shots when it comes to editing. And you can tell the story just selecting the best shots to actually say what you want to say. Drama is close-ups, comedy is long shot.
So you've done both drama like Rhythm City,
Yes.
and then you've also done commercials such as McDonald's Pieces. Which one do you enjoy working on the most?
Drama. I enjoy doing drama, and I'm trying to shy away from the commercials. For me, it's sort of like instant. It's now out, and that's where you have to make more money. You don't need to say much, just make more money. I'd like to say so much.
Yeah.
So I'd say drama.
Yeah.
And that's where I am.
And with the other productions that you've worked on, obviously, as like you're saying, the editors are usually other, unless it's your piece of film that you're working on. When somebody now comes to you with an idea, like Rhythm City has been on for a very long time on ETV, do you feel like you don't have much wiggle room, or do you feel like you can still make a creative input in something that existed before you?
The answer is no, you don't have much room. Even the directors don't. You just have to make it work. You just have to find one thing. They're not going to see it, by the way. but it must just make sense. You know, when you sort of like doing the last viewing, and then you say, I nailed this. Don't expect them to say that. And I think that's basically where you have to console yourself, but they won't see it. In a show like Rhythm City, you just have to follow the template.
Yeah.
So it's close to impossible to say I have a voice in this. But for me, because Rhythm City now, towards the end of the show, they were starting now to shoot outside more than in a studio. And that's where I would actually find that little joy, just to play around and do the real editing rather than do the fixing, because we were not editing, we were just fixing, because the vision mixer already edited. And for me, and it was my responsibility, it was given to me to always have those scenes where they were shot outside, to edit them. And that's basically where I found my voice.
When you're done with the offline, how many times do you watch it before you send it on to your producer?
I would have maybe 12 versions. 12 versions. I will have 12 versions of an episode.
Of a 24-minute?
24-minute, yeah.
And in those 12, besides the different nuances, don't you have one version that you just keep improving and improving until you run out of time?
So I have my one that I will do, and then I have the direction one where they want, and then you realize that the director is not even sure what they want, and then I'm going to go back to my version and show them. So the reason why I have 12 is because I keep on changing mine while I'm keeping yours.
Yes.
I keep on changing. There's so much that you can do, there's so much you can do, there's so much you can do.
Yeah.
And because it's a soapy, sometimes you come with that mentality of, let me treat this 24-minute as a short film, a standalone, which this is where you're going to have more creative room. And then you go to this one, you have to do it as a template. And then I'd actually end up coming back to this one, which is like a 12 version. Because the director would be like, no, I want this. No, it's not working. Let's go back to that one. So you always keep it. So sometimes it's not even me, it's the director who's going to keep on asking impossible things. Yeah.
What has been your favorite project to work on?
I would say it's the Nkalakatha, the Mandoza story. It's my favorite because I was given the full freedom. The director trusted me. We didn't even sit with the director. But the reason why it was my favorite because I grew up listening to Mandoza. Yes. And I believe like I'm a Pantsula for life as well. I'm from the Kasi. And the cherry on top of that was the music selection.
Yes.
It was sort of like taking me back, me having to create a scene from Kasi so that it can be received by a white man. It was fun. It was fun. The challenges. Having less versions of the editing, it just proved that I'm actually going somewhere. So that one was my favorite.
Yeah.
It was my favorite one.
When you watch with your partner, do you ever get irritated that they don't see the story that you're trying to tell?
No, I don't. Even my students, no, I don't. I understand. But they get irritated to watch it with me when I see mistakes on other productions and point them out. They get irritated. And sometimes you think you have it under control, and it's like...
Yeah.
It creeps out, and you find yourself now with a red pen.
Yeah.
So it actually irritates them a lot. That it's a bit difficult for me to watch it with my wife. Okay, that's why I created a film club, so that I can have the freedom to say,
Yes.
Because I can't do it at home.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, no, I don't get irritated when they don't see the magic that I created.
So Nkalakatha, your wife is holding you back from flourishing and enjoying TV the way that you want to enjoy.
I would say that.
Yeah. I'm glad you mentioned The Lion King. When I was asking you to give a list of the movies that have had an impact on your life, The Lion King is one of mine. It's the first one,
sure.
Right? So being a 90s baby, born in 1990, The Lion King came out about 4 or 5 years afterwards.
1995, yeah.
We still watched it on VHS. We only had three. We had Titanic, we had The Lion King, and then we had Phil Collins in concert, which was my dad's favorite. So obviously, because I wasn't a fan of Phil Collins, I always watched The Lion King because I'm a Popeye. But it had so many things that I could resonate with, like it dealt with family traumas, which for me wasn't a real thing. I was more interested in the falling in love part because I'm like 7, 8 years old, like I also want to fall in love with the blonde girl with blue eyes. I realized growing up that this guy was actually, Simba was in love with his cousin because I was just like, if he's part of a pride, then it's a bit weird. But for me, it was things like growing up, how you turn friendship into romance, running away from home, because we all wanted to run away from home at some point because just like these people keep feeding me cabbage every day, or I hate my dad, or they're telling me my music is loud. What movies, which films have made it onto your list as having shaped your character?
Who? The list that I shared with you, but I'll start with One Flew Over Cuckoo's Nest, which was made in 1975 by great director Milos Foreman. Who? I think the reason why that film is so important in my life. Firstly, I'm from a very not normal family. I'm surrounded by disabled people.
Okay.
To see life through their perspective, I'm the only one who understands them. If you'd be with my brother, he's like 40 years old, but then you'd be like, you're talking to a 7-year-old. But I understand him.
Yeah.
He would tell me today that he has a car. So now I was thinking, what if he has that car?
Yes.
Because I'm understanding him, and I'm trying to. One Flew Over Cuckoo's Nest gave me that, where they took someone and they say they're mentally ill, only to find out the people who are working here are the ones who are not fine.
Yes.
The doctors, the carers, the nurses, the psychologists are not fine, and they are helped by these people. But then that story was about freedom. Now, it actually showed me the power of a community versus the power of a society. I don't think Alexander is a community, it's a society.
Yeah.
It's all about you have to do this or else. While a community, why do you have to do this? All the time. And I like to make an example about a bus, a commune, and a car, which is society. It's about me, it's for me. A commune, we have to share everything.
Yeah.
We have to share a seat, we have to... So that film actually gave me that. And I'm actually starting to see the world differently now. That, the reason why these people don't understand my life and my family is because they are a society. Just because they don't have it, it is not for them.
Yeah.
And every project or every short film I try to come up with, it will always have to visit the community versus society, community versus society.
Yeah, so you would then say that community is more warm and more receptive of other people?
Yeah, community is a way of life for us. Okay, community, you lose it when you go to school.
Yes.
If all of us won't go to school, we'll stick to the community. But then the moment you go to school and be educated, it's a society.
Yes.
It is my degree, it is my.
Yeah.
But in a community, I'm still going to share it with you.
Yeah.
I'm still going to share it with you. So I would say community is something that we've lost. And that's why I actually call myself a village boy as well.
Yes.
Even my company is Village Sun Holdings. And everything has to, because it's all about community, not about the society.
You know, it's funny because like when you think of a society, which is like our version of Islamic banking, you know, like you all give me money, it's a pool of money, then this month we give it to this person, next month. Isn't that in a way a sort of community because we are looking out for each other?
It's so interesting, and I don't think we have enough time to break down where the wage society come from, and remember the Stockfell, and they call it society, so that it can look like it is serving us for this.
Yeah.
Now, if it's a society, we have to contribute in this table. If you don't have it, you don't have it. You're not part of it. So, society.
Yeah.
But if it's a community, we contribute on his behalf too.
Yes.
That's a community.
Okay.
So they actually disguise it as, but then no, it's not.
It's not, because there's an entry requirement, which is the money.
Exclusive. If you have it, you know.
Yeah.
So that's not it for me.
Your company, the Village Post Office.
Yes.
Why post office?
So post-production is editing.
Yes.
Office, that's where you find letters, and letters basically they have messages for people. So I have these messages in my office, which is post.
Yes.
So I sort of like every time I'm finished with the project, I have to seal it in an envelope and then send it to the rightful people, which is the audience. And the other thing, which I was just playing around with, the creativity, you find letters. So when you edit, you use letters. Cut is for razor, and you use letters. So your shortcuts are my letters.
Oh, okay.
And we use shortcuts. So I was just playing around with that. But then post office is basically where I store your important stuff, which is stories. I call myself a griot.
Yeah.
I'm the trusted library in the ghetto. Yeah.
Did you ever copy and sell DVDs?
Yes.
A lot. No?
Yes.
Because now that you're speaking about the sleeve, I'm a DVD, the ones that you could rewrite, we were always in the sleeve. So you'd be giving people a copy of Titanic or Ghostbusters.
And I think I was the bad bootlegger, because you're supposed to sell one DVD, one movie. But I'm doing what Netflix is doing. Since you've watched this, here's another list of. So I was I was bad, and I would put it here.
Yeah.
And then as I was growing up, I'd put trailers now. I would put that movie in trailers so that you can say, don't you have that one and that one? And that's how I actually how I did it. And then later it was just a film club. There's an old cinema in Alexandra, and I was actually pushing the film club there, which I was fortunate enough or blessed to associate with Tsotsi Film Festival. So they'd use me as a venue there. And it was so nice to see most directors choosing to premiere their films there rather than Cinema Novo in Rosebank or
like a steak in a car.
Yeah, they'd want to go to Alex.
Yeah.
Because I just had this audience, and I'd screen films that would spark conversations where taxi drivers would just walk in and watch, and they will start to talk.
So talk at the screen.
It's sort of like a therapy session type of thing.
Yes.
Where they wanted to say this thing but they can't. And most of the films that I used to see, because I took a break now, it was a bit difficult with family and trying to juggle work. I would screen banned films in the world.
Yeah.
Films that are banned. And I'd screen them here. So there's a time where I was arrested. It was so cool. It felt so yeah, it felt so good. Because they didn't want us to screen. And the film was the one with Marikana.
Yes.
Minor shutdown. I don't know why, but then they didn't want people to see it.
Yeah.
So it was full. And people were just like, yes, to talk and.
Yeah.
But it felt so good, man, just to
be bad a little bit.
Yeah, and I screened a film from Brazil called Manda Bala, which Portuguese means send a bullet, where the kidnapping is just the order of the day. And it's banned around the world. But then I heard that. Don't ask me what got it, bro. I just find these films.
I trust your piracy.
I just find these films and I wonder why people don't know them. And I just find them. I really find them. Sometimes I would read a book by a director who's going to mention a film that made him to be a rebel somewhere. I'm going to find that film.
Yeah.
I'm going to go and find that film. I want to see it.
And what's the second film that's had an impact on your life?
Gavin Hood, Tsotsi. So I gave you Tsotsi and A Reasonable Man.
Yes.
Gavin Hood has given me the best lesson about being a director. It's called a voice. You need to have a voice. So basically a voice when it comes to directing, you have to say what you have to say consistently, regardless of what genre or what story.
Yeah.
So, for example, if your voice is to always have a witch, and I'm saying do a comedy, you have to have a witch.
Yes.
Metaphorically or literally. That's your voice.
Or like a Sabrina.
You get me?
Yeah.
Martin Scorsese will always have that Italian family type of thing. Doesn't matter where he is.
Yes.
He'll always have that. So the reason why it's Tsotsi, Gavin Hood has sort of like summarized my life. Basically, Tsotsi, A Reasonable Man, what they have in common, and all his other movies, is always have an innocent person in the wrong place.
Yes.
And that for me has been my life. And I didn't know as a filmmaker can just summarize it like that. And if you can ask people why they loved Tsotsi, they won't be able to explain the impact it has on them, but then basically it's about me being in the wrong place.
Yeah.
That's it. What do you do with that? And that's where the story is. And that's the beautiful impact about Gavin Hood and all his movies, all of them. And the first short film was made in 1998. It's called The Storekeeper, where the guy who owns a shop, and the guy keeps on breaking in. And then he did a trap. And then the kids came when there's that trap.
Yes.
And the kids came just to steal a sweet. And the kid died. So Gavin Hood will always give you that. Yeah. And that's me. 1993, I was in the wrong place, which is Nkalakatha and ANC. And then in Eastern Cape, I'm in the wrong place now. I can't afford to be in this building, but I'm in the wrong place. What do you do when in that wrong place? And Gavin Hood has that thing of investigating that. Just be present.
Yes.
That's basically what he gave me with his movies. And that's how I see life.
There's one interesting one that you put on the list. It's called Don't Fuck With Me, I've Got 51 Brothers and Sisters.
Oh yeah, that's by Dumisani Phakathi.
Tell us about that one.
So, there's this thing, everyone wants to be something, but I'm going to use us as filmmakers from Alexandra. But then you find 10 aspiring filmmakers, they're making excuses. Now, I don't have a camera, I don't have this, that. That's why you don't find these stories. Dumisani Phakathi in the 2000s proved you don't need those things. He proved you don't need, just use what you have, do what you can do with what you have. And and for me, it inspired me. Now we have smartphones. Now you have this, you have that. And that's why that film will always be my textbook. Every time I'm feeling like I have to come up with an excuse not to do this thing, when I go back there, this guy did it. He was in a taxi, traveling from South Africa across, just recording. And he even found wrong people like, yeah, no, we're not brothers. And then he would leave. He would run out of money. He would tell people. And he actually said, dude, stop having excuses. And that film came up beautifully. And even if I can have a multi-million rand budget, I will shoot the way he did it.
Yeah.
It's so sincere. It's so genuine. It is so humbling. It is so real. It is so real. So every time I analyze it for my students, I always say it's an organized chaos or a professional mistake because it's not perfect, but it's beautiful. It hits home. So basically, it's just a reminder for me every time I try to come up with excuses because sometimes you have this fear. When you analyze people's films a lot, you're scared what they're gonna do to yours. That one reminds me, fuck it, bro, do it. Just fuck it, do it. And Dumisani Phakathi is that author for me. In that piece.
And what's the last film that has had an impact or somehow shaped who you are today?
I would say Amores Perros by Alejandro Gonzalez Innaritu, a Mexican director.
Amores?
Amores Perros.
Amores.
Amores Perros. In English, it means life is a bitch.
Oh, okay.
My life is, I'm from LX, but life is a bitch. Basically, he's saying the more you try to run away from your shit, you're going to find yourself in that shit.
Yeah.
Just to remind people, dude, don't run away from your shit. I've been married for 8 years. I don't know how many times I wanted to call it quits. I don't know how many times I wanted to run away. But the more I run away, the more I'm in this thing.
Yeah.
And then the day I changed my perspective in that it has been better, I accept where I am, and then I just find myself where I'd like to be.
Yeah.
Life is a Bitch coming to the movie itself, he doesn't have main characters. Everyone is a main character. Everyone is important. And he actually changed Hollywood because Hollywood has heroes and superheroes. And then he changed that and said, everyone is a superhero. Everyone is important. And they all rich, poor, drunk, recovering drug addict, prostitutes. They all meet at the intersection by accident. And in summary, everything that we do, it will always be by accident unless you are present.
What is your contribution now to the arts?
I'm celebrating storytellers while I'm waiting for an opportunity to actually be a storyteller as well. There's a platform that I'm creating. So in the Eastern Cape, I have a little bioscope. In Alex, I have a little bioscope. And I'm doing what we call a short film festival where people are just using their phones. Because I think we are getting there. And I'm seeing now the Hollywood directors now are using the little equipment.
Yes.
I just want to make sure that I make it available for people rather than to have a gatekeeping. You can do it. I want to be that Oprah. Yeah. You have it. Don't wait for them. You have it. And that's my contribution that I'm doing by creating this platform and with the contacts that I have, just to invite all the well-established directors to be with the aspiring directors and just have this long table in Alex. And basically, that's what I've created for them. And I don't have festivals once off. It's like every month, every now and then, we just meet, workshops, they always attend. Sometimes I even drive them. So the contribution that I would say is just to create that long table to be longer and longer and longer and available for everyone.
Yeah, and how can people get a hold of you if people want to attend some screenings?
So they can just follow Banele. I'm bad with these socials as well. I think I need an assistant. I'm really bad. They can follow Banele P Mtebele on Facebook, and under Banele P Mtebele I have all the pages: Alexander King's Film Club, Eastern Cape Film Club. All of them are there.
Yeah.
I'm just bad when it comes to these things, and it's just a word of mouth as well. And most people who come are actually not from LX, they're from Soshanguve, and I don't know how they found out about me because I'm very bad when it comes to marketing. I'm just doing it for now, and I'm enjoying what I'm doing now. And then I'll meet someone in Garangua saying, thank you so much for that film. Where can I get that film? And I'm like, damn, this guy was there.
Yeah.
And that's how...
Did you tell him that you bootlegged it? When it's like, where can I get that from? You're like, it's actually illegal, but...
And I will share it with you. No, they don't, but they just think, yo, because bootlegging and doing research is different in Alex, but between me and you, and it's the same.
But we know. Thank you so much. And I think what you're saying about word of mouth is very important. The fact that you are bad with marketing or social media, but we're still able to find you, means you've shaped and you've had an impact on people's lives.
I'm humbled, man.
Same as the movies that have had an impact on your life. Because when I heard about you, it was from my sister actually, and he's like, listen, I know you're into film. Here's a guy. I think you guys should sit down and have a chat. And I'm so glad that you came. It's been very eye-opening. Half of your list, I don't know. And I did an episode a couple of weeks back, maybe like a month ago, where I was running through 50 productions, local productions that people are not aware of. And now you've given me even more for me, myself, personally, to research. So thank you so much for that. That's been another episode of The African Couch Potato. We were joined by Banele P. What does P stand for?
That's for peacemaker.
What does that for?
Peacemaker.
Oh, but so it's not on your ID.
It is, man. It is.
Peacemaker's your second name.
Yeah, most people think I'm Zimbabwean. You know those funny names.
Next day we're going to be having Springbok and Springbok Ngube, World Cup.
So I don't know what I was thinking, but yeah, I'm gonna own the. So no, but then I've changed. You know when you create a beautiful piece of art.
Yes.
So I am the peacemaker. So the piece of
yeah.
But I'm trying to make it cool rather than God knows and ambition and certificate. I've met those names.
Yeah.
So Banele P Mtebele, peacemaker is
Thanks so much for talking to us, Peacemaker. Thanks for listening. Until next time when a new episode drops. Bye for now.